Ah, I have no camera. Honestly, it's all going wrong, guys. It's all going wrong. It's restarted the camera. Am I back? No, I'm not back. I opened the wrong version of EOS utility. Hold on. No, stop opening that one. This is crazy. I keep opening EOS utility, but it keeps opening EOS utility 3 instead, which means my camera isn't connecting. Oh, I may just have to do without a webcam for this one, which is fine, I suppose. But it would be kind of nice to have it while I'm fiddling. How are we all doing? I hope everyone's on good form. Barnacle, how are you? Let's try doing a restart again. I can work with this. I'd just rather... Okay, right. Let me... Webcam, go away. And we'll take chat. And just shuffle you down a bit. So like there. Okay, cool. That'll do. Needs musts. Okay, right. Hello. Welcome back in. Let's turn off my camera so I don't burn the sensors. This has been a eventful start to the stream. I had to rush to get here off the back of finishing work. Oh, you know what? That would be kind of fun actually if I made a digital me. Maybe I could use the character from Echo, like the first game that I was developing on this channel. That would be quite fun. Anyways, let's talk about what we're doing today. So yeah, oh, it's completely thrown off my train of thought. Right, we want to let me hit the play button over here so we can look where we're up to. We've got a system working such that we can add additions to our little chess pieces. These pawns here have an additional movement that allows them to go backwards. I think this is also a bug as well. We should be able to select other pieces. If we click on a piece that is our own, it should do the same as if we click on the tile. So we'll go and fix that in just a second. But something that we wanted to do today, or that we wanted to do yesterday rather, is make it so that we can also add additions to these pieces that will react to certain things. So like if I was to take this piece, some piece with a special power up might be able to like have some ability activate, and for that we probably want to be making use of some decent event architecture, and yeah, we'll do a quick rundown seeing as you've not been here for a little while. It's basically chess with some Balatro type twists to it, in that you can yeah, it's like a chess deck builder. So you upgrade, start off with a basic set of chess pieces and then upgrade all of your pieces as you progress through a run, with a very Balatro-style additions, in that we can, like, you know, add a gold strip to something or turn it into marble or glass or whatever. I think probably a nicer comparison to draw might be Die in the Dungeon, which is another one of the inspirations for this. Where instead of having a deck of dice, you have a deck of check pieces, deck of chess pieces, can't speak. So this is kind of where we're up to, and I'm trying to get the things like glass or marble, stone, gold striped, ruby striped, all of these different potential upgrades that we could have on chess pieces working, and part of that is getting the event-driven architecture going. So in yesterday's stream we were looking at I can't even remember which script. I think it was the piece adjustments, yeah, reactive adjustments. So we started working over here using scriptable objects, and I think we're going to be continuing with making use of this kind of scriptable object approach. The difference being is we're going to now be looking at using a scriptable object architecture. So having the events exist as scriptable objects that we can drag and drop in the inspector. In my head, that's the only way that I can think, after having done some looking into it, thinking about what it is that I'm actually trying to achieve. The best way for me to be able to create a like designer friendly in the inspector type thing where I can go onto like my piece template that I've got over here, piece template, yeah, like my basic king, and add an adjustment, would be to have like the adjustments have slots for events that they listen to, and then some type of reaction that they have, or even just like hard code them. I'm not entirely certain where we're going to get to with that yet, but this is kind of the starting point for where we want to get to. So with that as a basis, what I'm going to actually do is, in my utilities, I believe this is imported from my Shiba utilities on GitHub, which you can also get access to via the Patreon link in description. This is Visual Studio Code, because, you know, I'm on a Mac and they are dropping support for Visual Studio on Mac at some point. I can't remember when. Good, I do have it as a Git. Visual Studio Code is awesome because you get, for one, like the inbuilt nice terminal, but it's very lightweight and completely modular, or extendable. So obviously VS Code is specifically designed by Microsoft for writing kind of C# applications or Visual Basic applications. VS Code is just a lightweight text editor, which is, it's kind of like Sublime Text, but you've got all of the like different extensions that you can make to it, and that's really quite nice. And also having the integrated terminal. So like, for example, my setup that I've got going on here at the moment for working in Unity, we've got the C# toolkit, the Unity extension going on as well. I've got all like custom skinning on with the icons and stuff, and I've also got GitHub Copilot. So if I wanted to like go in and type a method, I can just type words and it will predict what it is that I want, and usually it's pretty damn accurate, which is cool. So yeah, that's VS Code. And another part of why it's nice is that I can have my there we go. I want to go assets, scripts, utilities, and I can like check all my Git stuff. So at the moment, like I say, this utilities folder that I've got is the Shiba Core Utils repo up on GitHub, which is what I use to bootstrap all of my projects. It's what anyone else who's working with the studio can use for bootstrapping projects, and it's available through Patreon as well. It comes with a bunch of stuff like the save system, different design, pattern implementations, things like that. And what I would like to do is do a checkout onto a different branch, which I'm going to call what's my naming convention that I have for this actually? Just need to check over on my other window real quick, because I have a naming convention for branches. Yeah, it's going to be project / Jugari's Gambit. Cool. And then we'll do a git push origin project / Jugari's Gambit, so that's up on GitHub now. Lovely stuff. Okay, so yeah, the reason I've done that is because I want to probably add this to the utilities. I think it's going to be generally applicable. I'll put it under design pattern implementations, and we'll go folder observer, and then I think I'll make a new folder called Scriptable Object Event Bus, like that. So let's create a C# script, and I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it, I guess, event, and it's probably going to complain because the type or namespace event already exists, but lucky for me, anything that I put onto the core utils I want to be namespaced anyway. So we're going to add this to a, can I enter please? There we go, namespace. And it's going to be Shiba Dog Studios dot, is it utilities? No. Systems, patterns, events, like that. And then I'm going to put the end there, command dot convert to scope block, because it's easier to do that than to go to the end of the class and sort everything out. So now this is unique to this namespace, which means I can have it be called event even if event is already a thing that exists. How's that size wise? Let's maybe make it a little bit bigger. Move my terminal out of the way, shrink this side column down. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So I would like this to be a scriptable object. And what is it that I actually want in here? I'm trying to remember. I might pull up like the original Dapper Dino video that this is kind of based off, or I think I used something similar before on I think it was on Nightmare Daycare. Let me log into Unity DevOps real quick, and I'll pull up this source code. Always takes me ages to sign in. Is it going to have cached my sign in? It has. Fantastic. Let's make sure that I'm in the right organization. Shiba Dog Studios. DevOps. Okay. pull this up over here. I want to go to Shubidog Studios, my repositories, and I'm pretty sure it's this one. Ah! Scripts. Is it this notification system? No, that's actual UI notifications. Maybe utility? Event system. Here we go, here we go. Cool. So yeah, we've got this base game event script. This is basically what we want. It's going to be a generic type with a list of listeners, which are an interface. You know, we could probably just yoink. And I am going to make some changes as well, because I know there's something about this which I don't particularly like, and that is the way that it deals with Unity events, or actually throwing the events in the is the event handler or something like that. Maybe it's just the listener, base game event listener. Yeah, so we've got this real funky generic statement, and it's basically saying we want this first of all, credit where credit's due, this is Dapper Dino influenced. The original code that he had or wrote used this again, real funky generic statement where you're taking in a type, an event type, and a Unity event response type, and it's basically enforcing that the base game event listener, not the base game events listener, sorry, the UER, Unity event response, is either a Unity event of type T or derives from a Unity event of type T. I don't see why we should need to do this bit. I think we should just be able to specify that we have a Unity event of type T. That feels more intuitive to me. Yeah, just makes more sense. So we're going to be doing that. Which also means I want to yoink all of this code. Go back over into Unity. Let's create a listener. Which actually I probably want to call this event listener. Maybe we'll have event publisher and event listener. I think that makes sense. Event publisher. You're going to be event listener. There we go. Let's pop this one open. Once again, let's put it in the namespace. It almost got it completely, but not quite. And then inside this, we're going to have all of this code. You're going to be public abstract class event listener. And this is going to be, again, generic, that has a type T for the type, and then an argument E for the event. And this is just going to be a Unity event of type T. For the Unity event response, I'm going to make sure that I'm going ahead with my normal naming conventions. Return game event. Yep, that's all good. Game event. Game event. What? Stop. Unity event response, Unity event response. And actually we can just do that as a null coalescing operator. So say Unity event response, question mark, invoke. And then we need to start doing some enforcement here. So E needs to be a game event, which I don't think we've made. Yeah, we have. It's the event publisher, which once more I need to kind of mess this up. Let's select all like that, close this, don't save, and then in the event publisher, paste, save, cool. And we want to say where E is an event publisher of type T. Again, publisher, you're going to be T. And then we need to make this interface. So let's go back and take a look at what our interface looks like. Which then raises the question, where on earth did I create this interface? I actually have no idea. Let's have a look. It could be higher up in utility. I can search iGame event listener. Nothing. Fantastic. Okay, that makes me think it's probably in the base listener class. There it is. Literally just got a on invoke that takes a T. I think we can probably take this, and I'm going to keep it in the event listener down here, like so. And we should now not have any errors. Yes, of course, we want this to be a mono behavior and an iGame event listener of type T. There we go. Cool. All right, that's the basics of everything in place. Let's go ahead and just clean some stuff up. You're just going to be a new. I also want to rename this so that it's underscore event listeners. That's fine. Everything's good in here. Cool. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so then to check that I actually remember how this thing works, the listeners, we have different different types of listeners that inherit from our base listener, which we've called event listener in this context, and they'll just handle the types separately. A lot of them are just blank. They don't actually need to do anything. It's just a case of us specifying these concrete types that we want to make use of. So what I would quite like to do then is take a look at the actual event publishers, and this is going to be where things now get interesting. So let's look at vector event as an example here. We have a struct which represents the data that we want to be able to send with this event. So for example, event vector contains a vector 2, and then just a constructor. But the event publisher is going to have a create asset menu on it because it's a scriptable object. We want to be able to create multiples of these. And then the invoke method that we're putting on there is going to take in a vector 2 and then use that to invoke our base event with that data, if that makes sense. And honestly, you know, that feels kind of dirty. Yeah, ideally I would like to have it be the case that I don't need to write some overload method for invoke, but you know, maybe we just roll with it. I think I think that's probably okay. So let me close all of our scripts we've got open at the moment, and we're going to go ahead and create some gubbins. I would like to make a new folder, probably underneath, have we got a game management? Yeah, I'm going to create a new folder called Event System. And I'm going to create a new script, which will be my piece. Let's go, yeah, piece event publisher. Pop this open. So then this is going to inherit from our event publisher, and it's going to be of type piece event data. We'll go ahead and create that struct as well under here. Public struct, oops, struct piece event data. And then we want this to hold the piece. No, stop doing that. Just a piece. We want to, I think that's actually probably it. We could possibly call this a piece interaction event publisher, because what do we actually want to state? I mean, actually, no, we don't need to go too crazy. We just want to send, we can have them separate. So let's have our overload public void invoke, which is going to take in a piece, and it's going to do exactly this. Yeah, perfect. And in fact, we don't even need to do it like this. We can just say new piece event data, where piece equals piece, like that. Oh god, things getting in the way everywhere. Piece, close bracket, delete this one. Cool, nice and simple. And then we want to be able to create a piece event listener that will listen to this and do something. Now, here's a question that I'm asking myself of, do I want this to be a, do I want this to follow the same kind of approach where we've got a, a mono behavior that we're assigning to physical objects in the world, or do we want to have a separate scriptable object that can do things, or a separate, like, unique script, just like a C# standard script that can listen for this? And the answer is, I'm not entirely sure yet. But we'll decide in a minute. Going to make a folder called publishers, which I'm going to move my piece event publisher into, and I'll create a new folder as well, which I will call listeners. Let's make that piece event listener. This is going to override our event listener. The type is going to be piece event, like that. Oh my gosh, what is this that it's done? Oh, it's done crazy stuff. I don't want to do all of this. We can just leave this blank like that, can't we? Because it's actually going to be the responsibility of whatever's handling to respond. And this is kind of where I then raise the question of, well, do I want to actually, rather than firing off a separate Unity event on its own, I could just have it be the event listener, and it can handle itself here. Which could be a shout. That could be a shout. So yeah, what I'm suggesting is, rather than have it inherit from event listener, where we're, you know, using this piece event data and listening for a piece event publisher. Although we do have this where when we enable it, we can listen to the specific event. So yes, no, I do want this to be okay. Right, it's starting to click into place. It's starting to click into place. So what we actually want is to have our we almost want our reactive abilities to be like relays. So when we apply an ability to a piece, it adds it to a list inside itself. And then that can be listening for when this event is fired, and then go to all of its listeners and say, do your thing as well. Cool. Yeah, so we probably want to try and do something like that. Game event is of type event publisher, so the event publisher has a bunch of listeners. Good stuff. The event listener is a mono behavior. Okay, right. Let's try and make some semblance of this come together in my head. Where am I going to put it? Is it in board management? Yes, reactive adjustment. So this is both going to be a piece adjustment and an iGame event listener of type piece event data. Do I necessarily want it to be piece event data? I need it to both be a listener and an invoker. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Event listener is not a interface. So I won't be able to inherit from it and piece adjustment, which is unfortunate. But I don't want to inherit from event listener, do I? I want to inherit from iGame event listener, and then I need to specify the type. I think I can probably do this if I make reactive adjustment abstract. Whee! And then that's going to do its on invoke thing. So yeah, we want to have a list of other listeners in this thing because it's also a publisher. Okay. Am I tripping over myself here? I think I might be. Yeah, I think I definitely am. I probably want to be a little bit smarter than this. Where we probably just have some method. We want this to have a public event publisher of type T. Event publisher. Good. Yes. Okay, yeah. I'm starting to get onto it now. This is not going to have a create asset menu on it because it's abstract. We want it to be able to, we want to be able to say when an event publisher of this type fires off, do these reactions. So then I guess we would also want reaction to be generic. So that we can have a public delegate void react, which takes in T data. Yep. All starting to come together. And in that case, potentially we don't even need... Oh no, we do want, yeah, we do want this like that. That's fine. I think this should be fine. So then it would be the case that on our piece, piece, we would have a public reactive adjustment. I've made reactive adjustment generic, haven't I? Oh, I mean, that's going to cause us some problems. That is potentially going to cause us some problems. Because I don't know if I want to... Like, if I always want it to be reacting to pieces, maybe I want it to be reacting to something else. I think the reactive adjustment needs to have an event publisher, because that's the event that we want to be able to listen to, which means we need to be able to specify T, and then we just need like a list of functions basically. which is exactly what we've got here. I wonder if I can just actually have a list of func t. And then do away with that entirely, because then we can just generate them in the classes. In which case we probably want a public static like that, and maybe I don't even want it to be a list, I just want it to be a function of t. It's going to be reaction singular. Let's sort some different music out. Let's wait for this ad to finish. There we go. We are back. And actually, I wouldn't want this creator to be on here. That should be singular. That should be singular. That should be singular. And I don't want this to return a reactive adjustment. I want it to return a reaction. So perhaps this is where our public abstract class reaction comes in. And I want T to be yeah, I haven't got any concrete thing that I can put into here, have I? I'm trying to think about how I did this with my state machine, because the state machine was also kind of crazy generics working all over the place, but somehow I managed to make it work. I don't think we're probably going to be in a similar position. Ooh, dearie me. Can't make an instance of an abstract class, so let's just do that. I guess this needs to be a event listener of type T. We'll have a private func type T reaction func, public reaction. It's going to take a function t. Let's do all of that. And then on invoke, we say reaction func dot invoke item. What have I done wrong here? That. There we go. You're not going to be abstract anymore. What? What else does this need? Oh, is that the return type? Is T? Okay, I want this to be an action instead then. Action. Discord, go away. And then we can invoke with this. Not this, sorry, item. There we go. There we go. Got there eventually. Okay, so we now have a generic class reaction, which is handling, doing all the stuff. With our reactive adjustment. Oh god, knock the microphone. Yeah, this is where I'm still getting stuck. I had a plan and it has fallen out of my brain as per I don't think I can have it be generic, can I? I might just have to have it be a reactive adjustment for some event on the board. And I think that's fine. I think that's fine, isn't it? Because we don't necessarily need anything too crazy going on. I've also just thought, does our piece have a reference to the thing that's visualizing it? It doesn't. But the thing that's visualizing does have a reference to the piece. Piece object has a reference to a piece, yes. Okay, that's fine. I'll concern myself with how we get things replicating on the visual side soon enough. First things first though, we need to figure out how we get this wrapped around. I think we can just have a reactive adjustment, and then when we set the reactive adjustment, we'll want to do some thing. Movement data, set movement data adjustment. Yeah, so we'll want to have a public void set reactive adjustment which will do this kind of thing. But what we actually also want to do is ensure that when the event is fired off, we're now listening for it. So perhaps we can have this be an iGame event listener of type piece event data. And when we add the reactive adjustment, let's say if reactive adjustment is not equal to null. Ooh, first things first. Oh, I took a screenshot by accident. If reactive adjustment is not equal to null, we want to deregister ourselves from the event publisher, which needs an iGame event listener of type T. iGame event listener of type T. I think you're okay. Event publisher. Why are you complaining? Cannot convert from piece to blank. Wait, is it because I haven't saved over here? It's probably because I haven't saved over here. The event publisher needs to be piece event data, and it's going to be a function of piece event data. And you're not actually going to be a func, you're going to be a reaction, aren't you? In which case, you know, if it's always going to be piece event data, let's not faff around making things generic. Let's just keep it as it is. Cool. So we're going to make a new reaction, passing in reaction, which is an action of type piece event data. You know what? I don't think I even need that. Get rid of all of that. So then in our piece, when we set it, if it's not already, if we've already got one, we want to unsubscribe from the event. We then want to say whatever we've just passed in, that's what we now have. And again, if it's not null, we register. And we'll also want to do all of the material updates and stuff. Otherwise, we can set our things to a default, set our materials to default. So did I make a method for this? Oh, it's all in here. It's all in here. So if reactive adjustment is not equal to null, apply materials, amazing. So then we don't have to do anything with materials here. We can just do what we were doing before. Like that. Cool. Okay, and then in the onInvoke, we can just do a simple check to say if... Amazing. Amazing. Okay, cool. I think that is what we want. It's just going to be a question of setting up the piece event data now. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's make a let's make one, shall we? So we need to go back here. We do want it to have a create asset menu. The file name is going to be that. Menu name is going to be piece data. What do I call it? Assets, create, piece data elements, piece adjustments. I think you should be singular, not plural. Yeah, I'll keep it plural though, just for sake of ease. And I'm going to go ahead and update my movement adjustment as well. piece adjustment singular. Okie dokie. So now we should be able to go ahead in our adjustments. I'm going to create a new folder for movement. Oh yeah, movement, and a new folder for reaction. We'll rename this to our test movement. And let's create a new one under here. Piece data elements, adjustment, reactive adjustment. Hey! Can't create instance of reactive adjustment. Oh, because it's an abstract class. Doi. Let's not have you be abstract. Amazing. Test. Reaction. This is a test reaction for reacting to some event. I suppose the problem is because our event publisher is just listening for... Oh no, because I can make loads of different event publishers for that type that get invoked at different times, and that's what we're going to replace. Yeah. Okay, it's starting to click together in my head how this is going to work now. So for example, let's create a new folder in our scriptables called events, and I'm going to go back to our piece event publisher. We want this to have, because I believe event publisher is a scriptable object, as we can see here. So I want this to have a create asset menu, event system, publishers, piece event publisher. And we can just go ahead and create one for like on piece captured, for example. Event system, publishers, piece event publisher, on piece captured, like that. And then this is just going to, we can just drag this into Fire whenever a piece is captured. So on our, I think it's on the piece object. Is it? Piece object? Yeah, we're effectively replacing this handle piece event with a piece event publisher. On piece taken. Don't need you to be an event. You can be a serialized field. Like that. And you're going to be private. And I want to make sure that we're doing all the right things for this. So let me just double click. Make sure we're checking all of the places, and here, yeah, on piece taken dot invoke new, like that. We're gonna get a bunch more errors now, but we're gonna fix it, don't worry. So in the match manager, we want to have a header, and this is going to be my event listeners. Wait a minute. How am I registering the listeners? I think I just want to say you're going to be on piece taken. I'm going to say on piece taken dot register listener, handle piece taken. Hey, nice. Yes, that's exactly it. Start with minimal pieces, swap and change them and alter some rules, and maybe even you've hit the nail on the head. You are talking my language, and that's exactly what I'm aiming for. But God, you would not believe how much of a pain it is to get these adjustments working properly. But we're getting closer. We're getting closer. I just need to... Why is my register listener? It needs an iGame event listener. Of course. Okay, so I want my match manager, wherever it's gone, there it is, to be iGame event listener for type piece event data. Implement that interface. So it's going to register itself. Deregister this. And then in our wait a minute, on piece taken. Oh, that's for every piece. Okay, no, we don't want to do that. We want to just do it once. Like so. Because we've now got a single event instance. On here, we don't want to do any event listening. And when we do on invoke, we're going to say if item.piece is dark, handle that, else handle that. And this needs to take a piece object, which is fine. I think in the piece event data, we can actually have this be a piece object rather than a piece object. Let me rename this. Piece object equals, that's going to be piece object. Rename again. Piece object. Ah, that's not how you spell object. Object, object. Cool. We're going to get errors all over the place now. Piece object equals this. And the match manager, piece object dot piece dot is dark. Do that, otherwise handle player taken. Perfect. Yeah, the hard work is definitely in the development. Glad you're interested in the idea, though. It felt like a concept that needed to be explored, and I think I'm finally getting there. Here we go. We've got just one more on piece taken. Yeah, of course. You know what? Let's just comment that out for now. I'll put a to-do. What was its suggestion? Add event listener for the piece taken. Amazing. Let's just use that. Okay. So, I mean, I guess we want to make an implementation for a reaction. Because at the moment our reaction doesn't do anything. So this test reaction has no function. Which makes me think what we need to do is make use of Odin So let me just go to reactive adjustments real quick. We want to have this be abstract. We also want it to be serializable. And we want our piece adjustment to be using serializable scriptable object, which is part of the Odin serialized scriptable object. There we go. We'll scroll. Am I in the setup everything and all its dependency stage? Yeah, pretty much. We've got how many episodes of this have I done actually? I think I've only done 3. Let me take a quick look actually, because I'm interested to know if we head over to my channel. Because I don't do any work on this outside of the streams that I do. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is stream 7. So that's, yeah, average 2 hours, 14 hours of work trying to get the foundation of this project in place. And you know, it's getting there. It's getting there. I'm also seeing that my chat has died on screen again, which I don't know how to fix that. It's really annoying. I think it's a Streamlabs bug where it just occasionally decides that it's going to stop replicating chat messages. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I'm full on testing stage right now, and getting everything, or not testing stage, getting everything in place so that we can start throwing things at it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is good. So the reaction, I think probably what the reaction is going to end up being is some kind of command pattern implementation. So maybe we even make use of iCommand of type piece event data. Did that just implement? There we go. We can have these be abstract. Because then the function isn't going to be... Yeah, cool. So we don't need this anymore. We can just have execute be abstract, and when we do the on invoke, we're just going to say execute. Problem is we aren't actually setting up our thing anywhere, and I can't remember. We need to actually have no, we don't want to do this like this. We don't want to do this like this unless I go back and update the command to take in. No, we're not going to bother with that. We are just going to use a private void execute. Wait, actually, you know what? No, I'm being stupid. I can just have this be abstract. Amazing. So then, now that this is Odin'd, we should be able to create an instance of this. I know what I'm on about. Yeah, here we go. So we can click this and then pick the type. At the moment, there's no types that we can put in. Ooh, wrong screen. If we create real quick like a public class, and we'll call this I don't know, test reaction. much going to be a reaction. And yeah, we'll literally just have it debug.log test reaction invoked by piece. Print out the piece. Amazing. And then I think we can put test reaction in here. And that gives us a reaction. In terms of materials, let's go ahead and make a light stone. Yeah, or maybe I'll make it light glass. Okay. There we go, transparent. And then I can make it slightly see-through. Sure, we'll give it a blue emission, shall we? Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. We're gonna call this light fluorescent. Oh, come on. Which we'll use, I guess, a slightly blue shade for as an emissive. And I've realized there's a flaw in the way that I'm setting things up, which we'll talk about in a moment, but not important right now. I'm going to disable the directional light because I don't think we need it, and I'm going to go back to the lighting in the environment and bump this up to just being white again. And let's go ahead and maybe make a fluorescent pawn. Which is going to have no movement adjustment, and we need to actually go ahead on the movement template and make sure this has a public reactive adjustment. Similar kind of story. If reactive adjustment is not equal to null, we're going to say with adjustment reactive adjustment. Go ahead and add a case here for reactive adjustment. And we are going to have reactive adjustment. And we need to create this still. Cool. This is kind of spaghetti, but you know, we move. Have I got a method for set movement adjustment? I think I'd like to call that, instead of just saying movement adjustment equals movement adjustment. Because then it'll actually go through like any validation that we need to do in here as well. Where's my error? The name reactive adjustment doesn't exist. Of course it doesn't. There we go. So let's go ahead and give the fluorescent pawn the test reaction. And on our test chess board for the player pieces, let's maybe make the middle pawn our fluorescent pawn. And then we need to hope that it gets captured. Wow, look at that. We've got a bright, shiny pawn. Please capture it. Please capture it. No reference exception. What? Piece.capture. Oh. On piece taken. Oh, I forgot to set that on the piece object. It's getting there. It's getting there. Thank you so much. I'm actually kind of torn between whether I want to stick with the aesthetic that it's got now, or if I want to go to using the painterly aesthetic, which I was working on a game lovingly dubbed Flower Game before, in the previous live streams, which I actually started doing this project for the sake of fiddling around with like more data-driven architecture versus just using game objects everywhere, because it was going to be more heavy on that. And I was kind of like, actually, the painterly aesthetic would look kind of good on this, but I'm not entirely sure. The minimalistic is quite nice as well. Right, let's get this pawn taken so we can get our... Yes! Oh, but it hasn't taken the pawn. Of course it hasn't, because I haven't updated the visual to listen for when the capture happens. Because, yeah, everything's event-driven, and it's all separate. But that's good. So it did... Oh, it did invoke multiple times. Hold on. We need to make sure that we're actually doing the right thing here. Let me go on to the game piece visual real quick and make use of on piece taken dot register listener. This, you're now going to be an I game event listener of piece event data. Go ahead and implement that interface. We need to make sure we add a serialized field, private, event publisher on piece taken, and then in our on invoke we're going to say if item dot piece objects is equal to visualize piece handle, yeah, handle taking. I think it's going to be a similar story for the Ooh, here's a question now. Here's a question. So I think probably what I'm going to have ended up doing now that I've got this global event in place, if we end up with or maybe not. Oh, I've got a no reference exception. Yep, of course I do. Forgotten visual piece captured. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't really want to do pixel art because too many indie games do pixel art these days, and I've got like an idea for I don't know if I talked about it on stream actually, but my whole like the vibe that I kind of want to go with, because my three inspirations for this game are Die in the Dungeon, Balatro, and Inscription. So something that I really wanted to do was add a Prismo type character that's just plastered to the floor and or walls and kind of floats around talking to you as if that's the person you're playing against. And that kind of made me think, well, okay, Prismo is like a painting on a wall, so maybe the kind of painterly aesthetic would work quite nicely. But then at the same time, it's like, maybe not. Or perhaps I could even do like a combo of the two, where the Prismo-like character has that kind of painterly wibble and looks like he's drawn on the floor and is talking funny with text that pops underneath his face. And then the rest of the game follows this kind of more minimalist, sleek aesthetic. If I capture here, okay, that's fired off the event. That's definitely not what we want doing. The event shouldn't be fired off unless we take, or unless we get captured. Like if we take, oh, and now we're getting a null reference exception. Oh no, I've broken a bunch of stuff. I've broken a bunch of stuff with swapping around all of the event listeners. So first things first is on the match manager. We aren't actually wait, hold on. I specifically want to say on my piece, when the thing is invoked. Yes, of course. When the thing is invoked, if we have a thing, we're going to go ahead and activate the enactment on our this reaction. I would like to say I would not like this to be abstract. I would instead like it to be a normal method, and I would like a public or a private abstract void, private abstract void. Blah, come on, can't type. Handle reaction. Sorry, protected. And then in here we're going to say if oh, how are we going to check that? How are we going to check that? I guess we could maybe take in a piece sender, and we can say if item dot piece object is equal to sender, then we handle the reaction. Oh, but then we can't take in a sender because the listener is the listener doesn't take a sender. And I don't really want to although I think I'm gonna have to. Object sender equals null. Now we got loads of errors. Because I don't necessarily want it to be equal. I don't necessarily want it to be like, if the sender is the thing in question, maybe I want it to be like, I want to be able to check a bunch of different stuff. So let's back up a second, actually. Undo all that. Still just take in the item. We're not going to faff with any gubbins in here. We're just going to handle the reaction. And then in here, this is where we want to then check We want to be able to do some check stuff. Or no, because we only want it to fire the event if... No, yeah, I'm being really stupid. We want it to be able to do a thing with the piece in question. So maybe in the event data, we want to have like a bunch of stuff in here, right? So we probably want to have a piece object that is the sender, a piece object that is the thing that was captured, a piece of... We just want to send a bunch of stuff. Okay, right. So let's have a public piece object sender. We'll have a public piece object moved piece, a public piece object captured piece, probably have like a public board tile, start tile, public board tile, end tile, and maybe, yeah, this is a struct, so that's fine. And then we can just take a bunch of parameters. So it's going to be, we're going to have a sender, and then optionally we'll have a load of other stuff. So we'll have a piece object moved piece equals null, piece object captured piece equals null. This is starting to feel more and more like spaghetti as I'm typing it, but I think this is actually okay. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with this. I don't think. But you know, we'll find out as I start going through. Piece object. Oh no, not piece object anymore. Board tile. Start tile equals null. Board tile. End tile equals null. And we'll have that invoke new this, which in turn is going to have a bunch of gubbins in it. There we go. Okay, so we now have a very sizable very sizable event publisher here. And we're going to have to update a bunch of stuff. So for our on invoke, if item.captured piece is equal to visualized piece, then we're going to handle piece taken with item.captured piece. Match manager, same kind of thing here. We want to say, because this is handling the piece taken, and perhaps then we also want to like put in an event type or a flag for what it's listening for, or what specific type of event it's listening for, because we'll probably end up with the match manager listening to a bunch of different event types, in which case maybe we want a bunch of different invokes. But no, I'm getting ahead of myself. If item.captured piece, then we'll handle enemy piece taken, captured piece, likewise captured piece, piece object. Where are the errors coming from on you? Down here, new piece event data. So this is when we capture. And that's actually when we get captured. So perhaps we actually want to invoke this method by the capturing piece. So when we go ahead and handle the piece being moved, da 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 da. Because then we can send all of the data about everything that's gone in. So where does this get called from? Because I can't remember in the board manager. Let's pop this open, capture the piece. So yeah, let's just make a tile event data in here. So var, or well, piece event data equals new. Oh well, yeah, we can just say var equals new piece event data, and we can say sender and end tile, and we can also say start tile is piece.occupied tile. If the capture is successful, we can add the captured piece to the data. I think that's it, right? Did we have something else in there? Moved piece. Of course, we don't want a sender. We just want the moved piece equals piece. So then on piece moved gets invoked with this. Rather, what I would like to do is say yeah, because we can't fire off necessarily our different types of events very easily via this method, can we? In which case, perhaps for my my event, oh my gosh, I've got so much open. For my piece event publisher, we'll have a public enum event type. Oh, look at that. It's already put a bunch of stuff in here. That is fantastic. Whoops. And then in our event publisher, we can have a public event type, which actually we probably want to rename this to piece event type. So we got move, captured, promoted, demoted. I think I'm going to bin those off for the time being because we don't need them. Piece created. We're not going to worry about piece destroyed, I don't think, for now. And we'll go ahead and assign some values to each of these so that if we add more in the future, things aren't going to get screwy. And then I guess on our oh, where was I going with this? I was cooking, and now I'm not cooking anymore. we want to set on the event data what the event type is. Actually, let's move this out of here and move it into here. Makes a bit more sense. So this then also needs to take a piece event data dot piece event event type event type equals event type. I don't need to do this. I don't think I need to do this. I forget what it is that I was trying to do. Definitely what I just want to send all of the information, don't I? When we do a thing. So this is actually probably not where I want it to be. Yeah, it was going to be in here. So on my test reaction, I only want this to be if item.event type is equal to captured. If item.sender is equal to item.captured piece. Then we'll do that. I guess I want these. So what I would like to do is somewhat have these conditions be separated from the reactions. Which I can do, I guess, by putting them in here rather than having the just the listener straight up. We want to listen to it, but then also only for a specific type. Perhaps I just need a bunch of different bunch of different implementations for our event data. So we can have a move event data, capture event data, all the rest of it. And have those, yeah, that probably makes a lot more sense. And then we can tailor a lot of these reactions to kind of be specific to yeah, I think that's going to be better. Okay. Let's see. But then I can't have... just a generic... unless I make a basic piece event data. Can't have an abstract struct. That's fine. Don't need you anymore. Don't need that anymore. I don't really want it to be a class though. I do want it to be a struct, definitely. I can't override struct either. Yeah. Unless I make the struct... I could make it an interface. So we could have a... whoopsie daisy. A public interface eyepiece event data. Which just has the sender. We always want it to have a sender. And then I think this can probably do that. Which can just be get set. Hey, there we go. Cool. So I can do that. And then I would just need a bunch of different event publishers for the different types. So okay, let's kind of step through this slowly. We're gonna have a piece. No, stop. Piece move event data. Let's have a piece capture event data. Captured piece. And we'll also have capturing piece. And you might be wondering, why is the sender different? And it's because it could be, like, maybe we have a piece that says when another one of your pieces captures, or we have an upgrade that says when another one of your pieces captures an enemy bishop, then all other bishops get destroyed, or something like that, or create a bishop on your side of the board, or something like that. We want to be able to have the sender be separate, and then check, obviously, you know, what was the capturing piece? Was it captured by us? We just want all the information, basically. And then we want to create like a bunch of different kinds of piece event publishers. So we'll have a piece move event publisher, a piece capture event publisher, and they'll do their things. We could even put checks like inside of these for if we wanted to send the event or not. But I imagine we probably want to keep them generic. So this is going to be let's rename it first. Piece event publisher. Rename. You're going to be piece move event publisher. This is going to be piece move event data. We're going to have the sender, the moved piece, start tile, and the end tile. Et voila. That fixes that. And then let's just duplicate this for our piece capture event publisher. Obviously don't need any of these structs in here anymore. They're going to be piece capture. Oh my gosh. Piece capture event publisher. Capture event data, capture event data. It's trying very hard. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can... There we go. Good old Copilot. Let's go ahead and do this as well. Piece move event publisher. Piece move event publisher. We'll probably to do move to iPiece event data.cs. And then we can finally go through here and start to update some stuff for what's doing what. So we want a private piece capture event publisher on piece taken. On our piece object, which when the piece object is captured, that's not where we want this anymore, so we can actually remove that from this event, I believe. We'll still need one on the match manager. This is going to be a listener for piece capture event data. Once again, piece capture event data. This is where I'm starting to realize the flaw in my plan. So it is, we do want a kind of chain reaction where we have the piece get captured, and then that piece being captures fires off a flag for I got captured, this is what I was captured by, and then the power up or the thing with the power up can say, okay, let's invoke that, I'm the sender. So we maybe need to do two different types of things here. That's all good. Reactive adjustment. Okay. So you're not going to be an eyepiece event data. And in fact, I think I can have this be generic. So then you're going to be a T, you're going to be a T, and then we can have this reaction be like piece capture event data, bang. Don't need to faff around with event types. We can just say if the sender is the captured piece, then we'll say event was triggered by piece being captured. Oh, bums. Then we've got that. There we go. Good, good, good. And then the piece. What was I doing on the piece? Actually, can I have it be piece event data? So it technically will listen to anything. I think that should be okay. So then it's just getting it to fire off the right events at the right time. So I mean, maybe we want to send the same event from multiple senders, which feels potentially flawed. We would want the sender of... Oh, well, maybe it's not flawed. No, it's not flawed, because we do want... Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, first of all, let's go ahead and... what am I still doing? Piece event data, you're going to be eyepiece event data, and... Wait, am I even using this anywhere? I don't think I am. I'm gonna just delete this. Yeah, cool. So that test reaction, yeah, our event publisher is going to be done. I would like to create a publishers, capture event publisher on piece captured. It's going to listen to on piece captured. Oops. On piece captured. Oh no, why can't I drag and drop that in there? Event publisher. Oh, can I not have it take any type that derives from this? I guess not. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Okay, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. We're making progress. I think tomorrow we should be able to get this locked in for sure, but I am coming up on time, so I am going to have to wrap it up there, unfortunately, but that's all good. So, on that note, thanks ever start again. Thanks ever so much anybody who came and watched. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe, leave a like, all the rest of it. If you want to join the Discord server to see GIFs and stuff as I start posting them more when we get past this initial stage, Discord server is the best place to be. If you would like to support the studio financially, we have a link to the Patreon down in the description where you can get your hands on the Shiba Core utils, which I will eventually update to include all of this event system stuff as well once it's done. And If you don't want to be supporting on Patreon but would still like to donate to the studio, there's also a Buy Me a Coffee link both on the side and in the description as well. I will be back at the same time tomorrow, and on that note, see you next time.